mean, they had the testimony of Sammy Ramirez, a high up, supposedly high up Nuestra Familia gang member who, supervised the Norteño street gangs. And he provided this theory of the prosecution, which was that there is a green light on the mob gang, and that in order to get that green light lifted, they had to commit crimes, specifically the murder of Sureños.
Sure, how he was tied to their creation. He himself testified that his business partner was Javier Garcia, who was, the evidence showed, a shot caller, a leader of this mob gang.
Nosotros fumamos, chingamos, hackeamos, peleamos, cuetamos, aquí estamos y no los vamos, rifamos todo. ¡Chao! ¡Ahú! ¡Ahú!
I want to welcome and thank you for dropping in and checking out this episode of Gangsta Music and Dirty Politics. We're going to change this shit up a little bit. I'm your host that's hated the most, Gangster Frank Gucci. With that said, hit the like button, leave a comment, share, subscribe if the content interests you. Before I start, let me hit you with this little public announcement real quick. Now for those people out there that think everything is good, get comfortable, por favor. Feel safe. I want you to. Now enjoy the rest of your day. So I'm gonna be speaking on the whole red on red again because I feel maybe some people are a little bit slow on picking up what I'm putting down. Now this whole red on red issue is just another easy way to deem people without cause or paperwork, and it's being abused, money over and over and over and over and over. You know what I'm saying? Now my incident has nothing to do with gangs nor gang banging. This incident was behind some wannabe who didn't know or understand his place. It was about a handful of individuals who had one thing in common, and that was to move me out the way or out the picture. You know what I'm saying? And after being out of prison for 8 years, well, who gets deemed? Who gets deemed after being out for 8 years for punching someone? Money that's disrespecting. You know what I'm saying? And let me also repeat this before I move forward. Let me also repeat this. I ain't never been in no PC, SNY, rolled it up, got scared, punked out, none of that shit. Forget about it. You know what I'm saying? I parole from an active yard, money. Solano. You know what I'm saying? State prison. Ain't nobody never did shit to me unless I let them fucking do it, money. I know what I'm capable of doing. As simple as that. You know what I'm saying? Now before getting deemed for red on red, I was already deemed, money, on some old fake, fraudulent, made up charges, money, months before, supposedly freelancing or whatever, not paying contributions. But that didn't even apply to me. You know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't even a part of anything or in contact with anyone that, that shit would apply to me. You know what I'm saying? So that, like I said, those are fraudulent ass charges. They should have just been dropped and period and left me the fuck alone. But they did it. So they made up a new one on me with this whole red on red for punching some fucking wannabe who was spreading rumors and gossiping about me. I'm supposed to what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to strike that up into these other grown ass men? Fuck that. You know what I'm saying? Red on red was not pushed out to protect Norteños from Norteños, money. It was to prevent set tripping and body warfare amongst hoods. That's what it was about, money. You know what I'm saying? Everyone be hiding behind that shit. Fuck that. Be a fucking gangster. You know what I'm saying? I'll get the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? Now for the vato that D me, as I said before, he's from the mob's most known rival hood. You know what I'm saying? This individual has the audacity, money, to hit me with this whole red on red when he himself is guilty of multiple counts of red on red done to my homies, for the past decades. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not talking about punching somebody. He was also well aware, since he's been in there, he was well aware when his homies were doing it against red on red against my hood for years. And he never did anything about it but cover it up. For as long as for their best interest. Yeah, you cover it up for his body, or he would strike us up. You know what I'm saying? Or just sweep it under the rug if they got the best of us. You know what I'm saying? And even more scandalous, like I said, they would always try to blame us, and we're the ones that were attacked, and it was unprovoked. You know what I'm saying? But we were the bad guys. You know what I'm saying? They reported it. We never reported nothing. We dealt with all of our shit on the streets. Understand that for 2.5 decades, I spoke up for my hood. When it came to prison politics, I spoke up for my hood. And I was never involved in any prison politics. Therefore, I don't take orders from these people. Not saying I don't follow the rules that make Norteños what they are. I'm just simply saying I'm not a puppet, money. You know what I'm saying? Nor am I someone who is easily intimidated or scared. Fuck that. You know what I'm saying? People who know me understand why I'm so confrontational with certain types of people that I call them pumpkin heads, money. Motherfuckers who get in position or get involved and they get big headed and think they deserve all this extra respect that they ain't earned. You know what I'm saying? Those are motherfucking pumpkin heads, money. Now, to get a clear picture of exactly what happened and why, we have to go back to Red on Red, which was done to my hood for decades, but unreported on our side. Now, there has been several attacks on my hood by gente utilizing politics as leverage to dismantle, smut up, divide, and target my hood. You know what I'm saying? On all types of levels, money. You know what I'm saying? And they've been doing it successfully. A lot of my homeboys have ended up on the other side because of the set tripping. A lot of these dudes go to prison, get involved, get out, or even from inside of those dirty ass walls, they're constantly campaigning against my hood in every way possible. And that's what this episode is about. So let's get to it. Now, these incidents will show a pattern of how some of these dudes abuse their authority and why the mob is like the stepchild of the Norte, money. You know what I'm saying? That because of the way we treat it, money. You know what I'm saying? It's all bad. It's not like something that's new. It's been happening for fucking 30 years. You know what I'm saying? We have been targeted since the motherfucking early 90s. The individual Houdini is a part of the problem from way back and has constantly fueled the hatred he has for my hood by sending others to do his dirty work, even my own. He's played both sides, even manipulating and brainwashing our own to go against the hood. You know what I'm saying? He sent our own people to infiltrate for information. His whole objective is to have full control over the hood, making it easier to, play out of pocket, dismantle, fuck off, or whatever, change or just, whatever they want to, whatever their plans are. You know what I'm saying? To do this, I must be taken out the equation. First, understand, we are and have been the ones who were getting attacked on a daily basis. And all we were doing is protecting ourselves, money, or getting our runbacks. Remember, on No Guts, No Glory, the Vital Horseshoe episode where I spoke about how the shoe would stab one of the homies, and then those dudes will report that the mob got crazy, so that way they don't get caught in no bullshit. They kind of like, you know what I'm saying? And they get at their people, and the people already high up there, so they're able to make sure their shit's all covered. You feel me? And then we look bad, you know what I'm saying? And those other dudes will come and tell us that we had to squash it after they stab one of the homies and we don't get our runbacks. Fuck that. I was like, fuck that. We smashing money and dealing with consequences later. Fuck that. You know what I'm saying? Simple as that. All 1,000 fuck that's. You know what I'm saying? Politics have always been used against my hood for 3 decades. I'm going to hit you with 3 incidents, not including my own, to show how we were being attacked by these dudes that have constantly made it hard for my barrio in and out the pinta over and over and over. You know what I'm saying? Just ain't nothing changed. Nothing ever changes, money. It's always, it's same different dudes, but the same attack. You know what I'm saying? First, it was the green light, which was a way to cause people, to scare people out the hood, money, to stop people from joining the hood and to dismantle the whole East Side barrio thing. You know what I'm saying? They got a homie from the mob who was hooked and fresh out to infiltrate. You know what I'm saying? They got him to get 2 homies from my hood to shoot 2 homies from my hood. You know what I'm saying? That ain't considered red on red. The green light supposedly wasn't even sanctioned. You know what I'm saying? We lost a lot of basically a lot of the future leadership got caught up, money, when it came to doing the cleanup. You know what I'm saying? And that's some gotcha ass shit. You know, a lot of homies got wrapped up. The whole thing was a way to break up the mob, but it didn't work. Again, you know what I'm saying? Then the second attempt came out with. Then the second attempt came out. They came out with something about that we had to change our barrio name. Some of these dudes were saying that supposedly any hoods with familia, brotherhood, or mob, meaning barrios like mine, that have been around, since the 80s as far as using mob, would have to change their name. You know what I'm saying? Chale, homie. You know what I'm saying? Fuck that, homie. Launa don't shine shoes, money. We ain't doing it. You know what I'm saying? I was against that shit. Fuck that. I'm gonna argue even though I'm retired, I'm gonna argue about that shit. You know what I'm saying? I got into a heated argument with the people who tried to push that shit on my hood. You know what I'm saying? We had a few words that led to a very disrespectful conversation, but not in a way where they wanted to chunk them money. Instead, they played their cards and only felt disrespected to the point where they wanted to go and strike me up. You know what I'm saying? They said I was stranding and challenging the people. But what am I supposed to do? I don't understand. What do you want me to do? You're like, okay. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I looked more into the whole thing, money, with dudes that I know from other cities. And I asked about it. If they were addressed about if there's hoods in your city named this, because everybody should have got the Wheeler, right? And these dudes from Frisco and from Tulare, they both said that Charlie, they ain't got nothing like that. So that was something that was just aimed and targeted towards my hood. It was a negative. That shit was not happening anywhere else but in Soho. It was another shot at my hood. It's cassette tripping, a body of warfare on the low, money, all red on red charges, money. You know what I'm saying? Does red on red not apply to those in position? So bond number one just sounds good, but will get you removed if you stand up and demand your social status of equality. You know what I'm saying? Which is bullshit. The third attempt was also another way to disrespect my barrio, money. You know what I'm saying? An individual who was from my hood, but got hooked in there, called me up, money, and had me on speaker with some people from another barrio who were trying to claim half of San Carlos hood, money. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to claim that half of it was theirs. You know what I'm saying? So I got them in an aggressive manner, money, threatening them. You know what I'm saying? If they made any attempts to challenge what is already set in stone, there's going to be mad fucking problems. So these are some of the reasons that boot me out the way. I mean, who else is going to speak up against these individuals that continue to find ways to disrespect, belittle, and attack my hood with these one-sided politics, money? You know what I'm saying? So here's where the fake charges get thrown on me. Now on some real shit, my name holds weight in my city, and it doesn't sit well with people who think they should have more respect. But to get respect, you got to earn respect, and it's gonna be hard to get respect that you ain't earned. You know what I'm saying? And kissing ass don't count, money. And backstabbing your own homies, I can tell you right now, that shit does not sit well with karma, money. So for the new and old generation of the mob, you should know that the only reason why you still banging and using the term mob is because I sacrificed my name for the hood. With that said, I'm out.